So, first episode of Bald
and Beard.
Alright, so, first thing, usually tell funny stories. I saw this video, I showed you the video already, about the police officer.
Yeah. No, this shit was funny. Shit was funny.
The fucking dude goes to the prisoner, "Hey, are you hungry?" And the prisoner's like, "What are you talking about?" I think the prisoner said something along the lines of, what'd she say?
She said, are you hoeing with me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes,
I ain't gonna answer you because you hoeing with me.
he goes, "Are you hoeing with me? Like, am I gonna answer you? You can be like, psych." And the police officer's like,
alright, don't answer me then. It's fine. Don't leave.
Fine. Like, we get to jail, they're not gonna feed you. Are you hungry? And she goes, "I'm hungry."
How about you have a cup and shut the fuck up? Which is great.
Oh fuck! I'll fucking throw the video in after this.
Yeah, no, it's solid. You should watch it. You'll get a laugh. If we don't make you laugh, that will make you laugh.
Yeah.
Before we get down to the jail, are you hungry? Because the jail won't feed you. I'm being super nice right now. Before we get down to the jail, are you hungry?
Don't try to hold me and be like, psych.
Then don't answer the question.
Yes, I'm hungry.
Then have a cup of shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up!
Our tomfoolery show.
Oh,
Anybody
funny
else?
thing. Heard this the other day
Uh-huh.
with the vape.
Oh, speaking of vapes, can you hand me mine?
Yeah.
Because I'm
So-
fuck up.
I heard it called the
Grassy ass.
douche flute, and it makes me laugh every
The
fucking
douche
time.
flute.
The douche flute.
Douche flute.
Somebody was like, I was like, oh, I gotta grab my vape out of my truck, and somebody said, oh, you gotta grab your douche flute, and I was like, fuck, I'm that guy. I am now that fucking guy.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Neither do I. Because
But, hey, you know, on the topic of vapes, a lot of people. So that's actually a little bit of news, and that's a perfect fucking segue
I'm ready for this.
into our current events, hot topics. So I saw on Facebook, which
Fake book, as I like to call it, because everybody's fake as fuck.
I begrudgingly say that I saw news on Facebook, and we'll address that on another podcast.
Facebook news or real news?
No, it was like an article. It was actually a video that the Science Channel had posted,
Okay.
and it popped up on my feed, talking about how the FDA has given like the 5 major companies that are responsible for juice manufacturing in the vaping industry, e-cigarette industry, if you will, 60 days, I think. It was either 60 days or 5 years. I know it's a hell of a spread.
No, I was gonna say that. Alright, 60 days to 5 years.
I don't fucking remember. Anyways, they gave them a timeline and it seemed short, so I think it was 60 days.
Right.
Anyways, they're like, you need to address the issue of underage people getting on vaping and whatnot. Which I understand, I get it, right?
Yes.
And the result from that was, if they don't find a way to combat underage vaping, which I think is a fucking funny phrase in and of itself.
Yes.
But regardless, if they don't find a way to combat that, they're going to ban all good flavored vapes.
Fruity.
It's going to be just
Like
tobacco.
candy flavors and shit
Right,
like
candy,
that.
cake, custard.
Here's my fucking thing, okay? First of all, underage vaping. Underage people are gonna fucking do it regardless of however people say, well, it's easier to get. No, it's not. You walk into a vape shop, depending on what state you're in. California it's 21, Texas it's 18.
Right.
Like most states are 18. You have to be 18 to buy it. They're gonna check your fucking ID.
Right.
If they don't, that's their bad. They get shut down.
Yeah.
So
Actually, in California, it's 21.
yeah, that's what I said. 21. You can go back and watch the video. But anyway, that's the point. Like,
Right.
I can see how it's more appealing to kids because it tastes better. But I started smoking cigarettes when I was 15 years old, and I couldn't buy them, so I either had people buy them for me or I took my dad's cigarettes.
Right.
So regardless is anything that's illegal. If kids want it, they're gonna fucking get it. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And
I can understand why the FDA would say that, but it is more appealing to kids because it tastes better.
right.
I understand that. I'm not saying that's
It's
wrong.
easier to pick up, if you will.
Easy,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, easier to pick up, but you still fall back in line with there are laws to buy nicotine. So follow the laws.
There's also laws on whether or not you can buy alcohol.
Correct.
Wow. What a surprise. They're still underage drinking.
And
lo and behold, and they're not talking to the alcohol companies, bringing up Seagrams to a lawsuit and being like, you need to quit your
watermelon strawberry bullshit.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Thank you. Took the words out of my mouth.
Oh my
That's
god,
not an
dude.
issue,
It's
right?
fucking,
It's all about money. It's all big tobacco.
Look, so I'm a wee bit older than you, and I don't necessarily remember
2 years.
I remember the commercials, but you remember Camel Joe?
Yeah.
The cartoon Camel Joe.
Of course I do.
So tobacco companies had to get rid of Camel Joe because he was a cartoon character and it made kids want to smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
So that's why they don't even have cigarette commercials anymore, is because they don't want kids to smoke.
Yeah.
But kids don't smoke because of fucking commercials. Kids smoke because they see their older brothers' friends, they see older people do it and they want to fucking do it.
Because
that's why they smoke, because it's cool.
Right.
Yes, I guess cartoons could make them want to do it more, but the bottom line is, you smoke because your friends, that's why I started smoking. My friends smoked cigarettes and I wanted to be fucking cool.
That's exactly why I started smoking too, and that's a perfect segue. I'm gonna need you to relax on getting in my mind, Inception style, because you're like reading my mind. No, actually, this is great.
No, this is great. This is
great
great.
for production.
I don't
think
think
people think that we actually rehearse this shit.
No, this is all fucking
impromptu.
Improv, fucking.
Yeah. So
whose line is it anyway?
This? I don't know.
And I'm gonna have to get a mic stand. I can feel this.
Yeah, I know.
But it's cool. I can.
Yeah.
This is round 1.
Episode 1. There's a lot of improvements.
Look, y'all are gonna talk a lot of shit. I'm gonna see in the comments, and it's
Yep.
cool. By the way, I actually wanted to say this beforehand. If there are children in the room, I cuss a lot. You
I
cuss
cuss a lot too.
This isn't something you want to play at grandma's house, unless your grandma's cool as fuck.
Right.
Then that's cool.
Yeah.
But
like if you live in California, and if you're over the age of 21, and if you and your grandmother smoke weed together, this might be appropriate. for you
dude,
to
this would
watch.
be great to fucking roll up a J and watch. It'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
If you live in.
But back to the topic.
Right.
Back to the fucking topic.
So anyways, what I was saying about you, how you perfectly segued into what I was going to say is I started smoking again because I thought it was cool, right? I was at Auburn, and I remember my buddy that I was,
Gig him. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, whatever. This isn't a snack. We're supposed to be on the same team here.
We're on the same team.
You're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
Yeah, that's why it's a douche flu.
Douche flu. That's why it's a douche flu.
Yeah, that's why, because you say shit like that. No.
So, anyway.
My buddy would always
Real
be
quick.
like, hey, come out with me, I'm going to go on a smoke break when we were doing a study session or whatever, and I'd go out with them, and eventually...
If you don't smoke, you're
What did
sitting
I
there
do?
with your thumb up your ass.
Right.
You're just waiting on somebody
Yeah.
else to smoke, and you have nothing to do. You feel fucking awkward.
Yeah.
So you say, hey, bro, can I have a cigarette?
And that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Started from there.
Fun fact. Let me tell you
Yeah.
a sad story.
Okay.
So, first time I ever started smoking, I was 15. My best friend, David Dawson, he smoked cigarettes, same age, and I asked him for a cigarette, and he said, you don't smoke. And I was like, I want to try it, man, because I wanted to be cool. David smoked, I wanted to smoke, it was cool. I sat in a tent, because we were camping out on his land, and he gave me a pack of Marlboro Reds, and made me
That's
smoke.
what I started on too.
Made me smoke that entire pack of Marlboro Reds in a 2-person tent. Like we were hotboxing that bitch with cigarettes. I got sick as fuck.
Did you throw up?
Oh, yeah, dude, no, I threw up. But what did I do the next day? Because I wanted to be fucking cool. Hey man, let me have another cigarette. It sucked. It hurt. But I wanted a fucking another one the next day because I was like, I'm going to be cool.
Yep.
And if you don't smoke, let me get off topic. Real quick.
No,
real
this
quick.
is on topic.
On topic.
This is good. We're thinking
So,
the same thing.
This is to all the motherfuckers out there that vape, that don't smoke cigarettes, or vape and don't use nicotine.
Or
like
vape and never smoked before.
Listen,
and picked up vaping
exactly.
because they thought it was cool.
Dude, if you
Stop
did
it.
that, then you are the douchebag. You're the reason
You're the
there's
problem.
a douche for you.
You're the problem.
I swear to fuck, I wish I never would have started smoking. It's cost me so much money.
Yeah.
It stinks. Even vaping, dude.
Not to mention your health.
Yeah. People say vaping's cheaper. Coolest fucking bottle opener ever.
Thanks,
Everybody
Mom and Dad.
says
Shout out to
vaping.
Mom and Dad.
Vaping is cheaper. Vaping is cheaper than smoking to an extent. If you vape within reason, you don't have to have the newest shit.
Right.
Vaping costs money. Smoking costs money. Anything you inhale into your fucking lungs is gonna kill you regardless. So, if you started vaping because it tastes good or it was cool, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you pick up a bad habit that wasn't necessary because it was tasty. Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe beer's the same way. People drink fucking booze and whatnot.
I mean, it could be, sure, yeah.
It
And
tastes
I mean,
fucking
ultimately,
good.
people are going to make their own decisions. And the decisions they make are going to follow them for the rest of their life. Hopefully,
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hopefully they smarten up. But regardless. So, I dabbled in smoking in college. And I really didn't start smoking heavily.
Cigarettes or weed?
No, cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, I dabbled in a lot of things in college.
No, cigarettes. But I never considered myself a smoker. I literally would only have a cigarette when I was around that one friend. And that was it.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I started working at Honda as an oil tech, changing oil all day long. And we'd have 15, 20 cars sometimes waiting to get an oil change. And the service managers would be on our ass, like, hey, get that car in, get that car in, get that car in.
You get stressed out.
The only way, stress was a little bit of a factor, but it wasn't even a real reason. The only way you could get a break in is if you were
smoked.
outside smoking.
I can
You
do the
could
garage
smoke in
next
the
door
shop.
opening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You couldn't smoke in the shop. And so I'd go out back, I'd light up a cigarette, and I'd get a 5-minute breather from doing all the shit that you have to do, which, okay, it's not a lot. You can all start talking.
No, the fact that
you're like, oh, you only change oil. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
The fact that you
that's what
smoke to
started
get a
it.
break. Because
Right.
that was the only way you're gonna get a break.
Yeah.
Because most people, like, it's funny to me. It's funny to me because most people are like, you can't have a fucking break. You can't have a break. But if your boss is a smoker and you say, I need a fucking smoke break, they get it. And they're like,
yes.
oh yeah, dude. Because when you smoke, for those who don't smoke, whenever you smoke and you don't have a cigarette for a while, you get fucking cranky, dude. You're an
I'm
asshole.
talking like this puts hangry to shame. You think hangry's bad?
Give us, make a perfect example. When I was stationed in Germany, flying from Germany to the States was like a 12-hour flight. No cigarette. When you get off that plane, you are cranky as fuck. Most airports, you can't even have a smoking section, so you have to wait till you get your luggage, you get out that bitch, and then what's the first thing you do? You smoke a cigarette, then we're gonna go find the fucking car.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Or if it's really bad and you've got time, you will make the personal sacrifice to go outside of security to the outside area,
Yeah.
smoke a cigarette,
You would go
and then
through
wait
the
back in
bullshit
like 30
again.
minutes to an hour in security to
Yep.
get back through because
Yep.
that one, or actually, let's be real, 4 chain smoking cigarettes was worth it, right?
yeah, dude, if I had a 30-minute break, which most places you get, what, a 30-minute lunch?
Right.
Some places you get an hour if you work at...
If you're lucky.
Yeah,
Right.
if you're fucking lucky. But in that 30 minutes, I smoked at least 2 cigarettes. That's how I knew my break was over, is because I would smoke 2 cigarettes, go to the vending machine, grab a bag of chips, eat it on the way back in, and I'm like, alright, cool, just on time.
I guess lunch is up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
So,
So,
long story short, don't start smoking
Right.
if you haven't. Don't
Yeah.
vape if you don't smoke.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a waste
it's
of
not worth
fucking
it.
money. There's so many other things you can waste your money on. Alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, granted, I will also say, and then I think we can get off the vaping topic, but I vape purely for the facts of smoking cessation. And there's a lot of people out there.
habit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that be like, wow, vaping's not safe. I never said vaping was safe. Vaping's not meant to be safe. Nothing about vaping is safe. You're still inhaling chemicals, man-made shit into your body.
I'm really excited to see the comments and all these fucking douche flutes.
Yeah,
That are like,
right.
vaping's way healthier. Look, I'm not
Right, yeah.
It's not that vaping isn't healthier than cigarettes. It's
Right.
you're inhaling it into your lungs, therefore it's fucking bad.
Right,
Period.
right. But you hit on the right topic. And so a lot of people that use vaping for smoking cessation, it's better than smoking, right? You don't have the tar, you don't have the carbon monoxide, you don't have all the other carcinogenic chemicals. You've got nicotine.
I've also heard too that vaping really hasn't been around long enough for them to see the long-term effects
So fun fact,
as well.
there was a study.
But I'm not a fucking scientist, so I don't fucking know.
Well, I'm not either. Yeah. But, no, so fun fact.
Now I want a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, go figure. Go fucking figure, right?
Yeah, you talk about smoking, you want a cigarette.
Fuck.
I'm actually good. But, no, the point is.
I am not good. I could use a smoke.
Yeah. No, there was a study done in the 60s, and if you guys comment and want the source, I'll find the study. But it was a medical study done. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't think I told you.
No, probably not. We'll see.
What they did is they took a control group of mice and just let them live their little lives out in a cage with just regular air.
Okay.
And then they took a second group of mice and actually mix in with their breathing air, ionize or vaporize propylene glycol.
Okay.
Which, as you non-vapors or cool vapors, whatever, don't know, propylene glycol is one of the main ingredients in the juice that vaping companies use and manufacture. The other part is vegetable glycerin, which is just a simple sugar.
Yeah.
But the point is the conclusion of that study, they found out that the mice that were subjected to the air mixed with vaporized propylene glycol had a higher immunity, higher resistance to germs, to infections in general. And so it was the conclusion of the scientific study that vaporized propylene glycol is a natural germicide. Now, I'm not saying go vape.
Because it'll make you healthier.
It's the same as taking a fucking engineer. I'm not saying that.
It's not a fucking
But I'm saying
it's
interesting.
Vaping is not a one-a-day. Yeah.
It's
that's in the 60s, before this was even a fucking
thing. Yeah, well before.
So, yeah.
And
back
so
when
I thought that was
cool.
pretty cool that they did a study and found that the main active ingredient one of the main active ingredients in the juices that we use for our vapes is actually natural germicide. There was no negative side effects found in that study.
Interesting.
So, but you're right, you hit the nail on the head. Vaping hasn't been around long enough for medical professionals and scientists to make a conclusion.
All those people out there that want to fucking argue about how healthy vaping is, fucking nobody gives a fuck. That's what makes you sound like a douchebag. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah, nobody really cares.
Dude, because you want to do it. Right. Don't fucking fight for your kids.
No, God, no. Yeah.
Fucking, it's simple. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So, our next topic. On to our next topic.
Yeah, our next topic, and actually, I don't really have a good segue for this. So we're just going to dive right into this son of a bitch. Dive right in. It is being thorough. And I think this applies to a lot of things in life.
Everything.
It literally can apply to every part of one's life.
Pay attention to the fuck you're doing.
Being thorough is honestly the most important thing that you can do to yourself, to others around you, and to your superiors and your subordinates.
Correct.
Whatever the circumstance is, if you're thorough and you're honest with yourself, don't kid yourself, don't half-ass something and be like, oh yeah, that was thorough. No.
You fucking know when you're half-assing.
You have to be, and you know where it starts? With yourself. Okay. You have to be thorough with yourself. In other words, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be straightforward up front. You can't sugarcoat. You can't bullshit yourself.
You cannot bullshit yourself.
Because
people do it.
They do it.
But they honestly know. It's like when you tell yourself to make yourself feel better, but you know, like...
You know that you know.
It's like when you do something fucked up and then you try to justify it in your own head.
It's like as a small child, when you first learn about lying, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's literally, well, I won't say the exact same, but it's pretty damn similar to when you first learn about lying as a child. You're like, damn, if I change what I tell my parents, I won't get in trouble.
Or I won't get in trouble, which is what you want.
Right.
You don't want to get in trouble.
You don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly.
Or you want what you want.
Yes.
And that goes and it evolves into you being dishonest with yourself.
Correct.
And so, if you're thorough with yourself and you take everything that you do wholeheartedly and you do the best that you can with yourself, then it's going to translate into the outside world.
Correct. Like, my biggest thing is, we were talking about it earlier before we started filming, if you're going to do something, do it right the fucking first time, because regardless of what you think or whatever you say, this is why, is if you don't do it right the first time, you're creating more work for yourself later. If you're not thorough with what you do the first time, which is our topic, then later on, you're going to have to go back and fix it. And it's more stressful, more of a pain in the ass, because not only do you have to redo what you already did, but then you have to fix the original problem. And if you don't have to redo it, then you're an asshole, because the next person that comes along now has to fix your fuck up and then fix the initial problem.
Right.
So,
and it's more work for everybody. And on top of that,
more money.
Yes.
More fucking money. People want to bitch about whatever, the economy or what the fuck ever it is. People bitch about money. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Bitch about money.
Money is the root of all evil. And money is
actually
crime.
The saying for that, money is the root of all evil. Motherfucker, I shouldn't have brought it up because I can't remember. That's not actually the original saying.
Let's move it back slides.
It's I'll fucking episode 2. Remind me, write it down. Episode 2, I'll bring it back up. I'll look it up for you and tell you. Money is the root of all evil is actually how it got twisted over time. But that isn't the actual original, like, blood is thicker than water. Isn't actually. It's blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb, is the original saying. Which is basically implying that blood of a brotherhood is thicker than the water of the womb as far as, like, your own flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. So, like, what it was implying was, like, combat-wise.
Yeah.
Going into war, the camaraderie that you have with your brotherhood of soldiers or whatever the case may be, whatever club you're in, whatever it is, the bond you have with people that you go through some for real shit with is stronger than family. And you can disagree, like, that's not the case for everybody, but that's where the saying came from, is blood is thicker, or blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb, is the original saying.
Yeah.
So.
And I think, so, being thorough applies to everything, like we've already said.
Everything.
And
literally, washing your nuts. Be thorough, or you're going to have some stinky sack.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Do Dane cook, be washed, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, and so, but I think being thorough starts from a very young age. And I'll use myself as an example. I say I'm borderline OCD. Really. Like, I'm borderline OCD.
He is OCD.
I have got the most logical mindset you've probably ever met in a human being. Ask my wife, ask my mom, don't ask my dad because he's got a more logical mindset than me and the apple didn't fall far from that tree. Not at all. It actually fell directly on the fucking roots. Swear to God.
And it's stuck. It's just stuck.
Actually, it didn't even fall.
It didn't hit the ground. It's just sitting there.
So my dad's an engineer by trade.
And so I
went to school for mechanical engineering at Auburn.
And like he dropped that there. Nice. I went to school for mechanical at Auburn.
Well, yeah.
Just so they know.
To combat. No, that was actually to combat your shit-talking phrase about Auburn. That's why I'm an Auburn fan. I went to Auburn.
I'm not talking shit about Auburn. Please don't fucking. Oh, faggy Aggies. I don't give a fuck, dude. I never went to A&M. Who gives a fuck?
No. But, and so that mindset has stuck with me throughout my career.
And it should.
Whether it be, we're talking about my jobs as a technician at Honda, which, drop a line if you guys want to hear some stories about any of my jobs. I'll tell some stories. Now, let me follow that up. That probably wasn't a very good follow-up for Honda. There ain't no stories worth telling about my job at Honda.
It's
stories that cars up. I racked the cars up. I dropped the fucking oil plug. I dropped the filter. I put the shit back on. I put oil back in the car, and I dropped it out. It was just a job to have during college. But some fun stories about my job as loss prevention at Belk. That might be something fun to talk about. Anyways,
man,
I get off track. I
was about to get off track. I got stories for days about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
And so
anyway,
regardless,
being thorough,
right? It lasted me throughout my career, and especially once I joined the Army. You know.
Yeah.
And honestly, it came full circle because there is a time in my career. It's time in everybody's career.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Specifically when you hit that E4.
E4 Mafia shout out.
When you get to be an E4 and you're part of the E4 Mafia and you learn to be a master of the sham shield, sometimes it bites in the ass.
For those who don't know what the sham it means, slack off. Get other people to do your shit or hide so you don't have to do it.
Right.
Everybody fucking does it. None of it kind of goes against the being thorough as we're talking about.
Right.
But sham shield, E4 Mafia, for those who serve and or serving, you totally get it.
You know. Right.
You fucking know.
And I think this is actually a good interjection would be, if we use any kind of military terms that you don't get, don't worry about it. Move on. Just be like, oh, I don't fucking get that.
Yeah.
Like, if it's essential to the point that we're trying to make, we're explaining. Otherwise, just get over it. Just pass. Keep going.
Right.
Pass go. Get $200. Continue the game.
Unless you go straight to jail. But then you're not watching this anyway because I don't know if you get YouTube in jail.
shit, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Anyway,
So-
they have more rights than we do.
Right, no, but it bit me in the ass. The first time that I came to DLI, I was slacking off. I wasn't going to PT. And now most of it was legitimately because I was having to go do extra study hours.
Okay.
But nonetheless, there were several days that I could have gone to PT and I just was like, oh yeah, no, I was totally in study hall. So that came back to bite me in the ass. And honestly, when I left AIT, I was in the best shape of my life. I wasn't a stellar soldier in terms of the APFT, right, the PT test.
Yeah.
I wasn't no 300 soldier. But in terms of my own personal health, I was in the best shape of my life. And I left AIT, went to DLI, started slacking off, and from that day forward until today, I have always had to play catch up on my run.
Because you were not.
I have to work extra hard to make sure that I do well on my run because I lost the motivation and I lost.
When you lose motivation, you lose drive. When you lose drive, you're no longer thorough.
Right.
And look, there's one thing I want to point out. Okay, so.
Oh shit, we're getting serious.
Yeah,
forward.
We're about to get serious. So I get everybody goes through a point where you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It happens. I still do it with some things today. But in saying that, you don't necessarily have to have drive to be thorough. Be thorough for your fucking self.
Yeah.
Like, do the best you can do at something, whether it's, if you're going to be a fucking janitor, you mop that floor the best you fucking can.
Yeah.
Like, it's, and I'm guilty of it. Honestly, my little
We
brother,
all are.
my little brother Sean. All right, so little backstory with Sean. Sean's 22, and God, dude, he's got it. We're gonna have to get him to call and talk on this fucking podcast.
Yes.
He's the funniest fucker I know. Has no filter whatsoever. It comes in the brain, straight out the mouth. And God, he's funny as fuck. But in saying that, so Sean is fucking goofy, doesn't give a shit about anything.
Right.
Loves his weed, man. Dude smokes it up. Has the best work ethic I have ever seen. I know motherfuckers in their 30s, 40s that can't even touch my 22-year-old little brother because everything he does, regardless of what it is, whether it was working at a call center, did to the best of his ability. Now he works at a fucking barbecue place smoking meat.
Yeah.
Everything he fucking does, he does 100%. And he was actually telling me that he's pissed off because at his job, whenever they're not doing anything, he'll pick up a room and start sleeping. Mm. And they always tell him, oh, dude, you're working too hard. You're working too hard. And he looks at him like, motherfucker, we don't do this now. I'm going to have to stay an hour after work to do this.
Yeah.
So stop leaning around and do some shit. So at 22, and being as goofy as he is, he already understands because growing up, my dad was no bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
He taught us if you're gonna do something, do it 100%, whether you like it or not. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And the big thing is when you give 100%, whether you do it for yourself, you do it so you don't have to put up with bullshit later. Other people see you doing what you're doing, and people will respect you a hell of a lot more. That will open up so many fucking doors of opportunity because they know that this guy's fucking out there shoveling horse shit for 7 hours a day. That's your job. But there's never any shit on the ground at the end of the day. How long do you think that motherfucker's going to be shoveling horse shit?
Not long.
Exactly.
No, exactly, yeah.
So, be thorough.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do. Everybody hates doing shit. It's part of being a fucking adult. I have a 1-year-old daughter and she has it fucking made. She cries, we give her food.
Yep.
Lunchtime's over, she's still hungry. Guess what? We're gonna give her more fucking food.
Yeah.
She gets to take naps whenever she wants.
Yep.
We basically worship the ground she walks on because if she's happy, we're fucking happy.
Yeah. And
Within reason. I don't spoil my child by any means. That's a fucking lie. I got a little girl and I'm a dad. I'll spoil the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, as a baby, you got it fucking made.
You do.
As soon as you graduate high school, you're in high school, I'm a senior. I'm an adult. You're going to treat me like it.
But you don't act like one.
You're not a fucking adult.
But you don't act like one. That's what pisses me off about a lot of people. A
You
lot of
think
people
you're
want
fucking grown.
to get the responsibility.
Exactly.
They want to receive, you know.
And as soon as they get it, what do? I don't like this.
Right,
it's
exactly.
not fair.
Yeah, they fight and they're screaming and yelling and bullshit,
dude.
and they want the recognition of being an adult, but they don't act like an adult.
Okay, I'm about to go on a mini rant going at because you said they want the recognition. All right, which pisses me off that everybody today, millennial. Okay, that's a bold statement. Not every millennial. I get it. Most of the young people today are so fucking entitled.
Yeah.
Guess what, guys? You can work just to get some shit done and not receive anything.
Yeah.
That is a fucking
The world
thing.
keeps turning.
That is a fucking thing. Just because you do something for somebody, or you do something in general, doesn't mean you should get something in return.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, there was an article that Clint Eastwood did.
Ooh, yeah, Clint Eastwood.
And man, I read it, and for the life of me, I cannot find it again. But the title of this article, I shit you not, was The Pussification of America.
It's not fucking wrong.
And, you know, a lot of people talk about the differences between what the baby boomers and the millennials, right? Society's different, the economy's different, the world is different. Everything's different.
Everything's different.
Everything changes.
Within time, shit changes. That's
What
a fact.
is a thing yesterday may or may not be a thing tomorrow, and that's the way the world turns. And it was no different than for the baby boomers than it was for the millennials right now, right? And so, but what Clint Eastwood said in his article was basically summarizing, he said that people nowadays are entitled. They think that because they do something, they're automatically entitled to receive A, recognition, B, praise, or C, it somehow makes them a better person than the man or woman standing to the left or the right of them. And
Why?
those three things...
Why, though? That's what I don't understand.
Those three things trickle down, and I think cause a lot of the problems that is happening today in society. And we're not going to get into too much politics.
We're not going to get too much politics.
I'm going to try and stay away from politics.
Correct. That we won't talk. We might veer off a little bit.
Right.
But everybody has their own political views.
Everybody has their own opinions.
I don't know about Keith here. I don't give a fuck about your political views. I
No.
don't care to hear them. Believe what you want to believe. That's cool. I'm not trying to change your mind here. I'm just telling you my fucking opinion. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch this. It's that easy.
Right.
Honest to God.
No, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind either, but I'm a little different than you. I enjoy having political conversations. Some people call them debates. My wife loves to be like, why are you trolling them on Facebook again? Why are you fighting with them? Why are you having a debate? And I'm like, it's not a debate. It's a conversation. And the reason that I like to have that is because I think that's a lost art in today's society. I really do.
Here's what I think, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I actually do agree with you, but this is my stipulation on it. I will debate with someone because I'm a firm believer in knowledge is power.
Yes.
100%. The more you know, the better you are. I will debate with somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about. Don't debate with me on your opinion, because opinions are fucking wrong. Period. That is an opinion. That is how you feel. If I debate with you, hit me with some facts. And that's cool.
Have a basis.
Exactly.
If you have an opinion, that's fine.
Have
but
an
be able
opinion.
to tell me the facts
Absolutely.
that
Yes.
you base your opinion
Yes.
on, right?
Have an opinion,
if
but
you
back
have
it
an
up.
opinion on something that's not based on facts, besides like religion or philosophical topics
Yes,
and whatnot,
correct.
right? That's a different category. I don't really care, right? If you come at me, and I'm glad you brought that up, because not only is that important to have facts, but I also think there's a few more stipulations to having a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into a lot of emotional biases.
Exactly. Yeah. Agreed.
And the number one issue that I think a lot of people in today's society have that prevents them from having a good discussion that enables them to gain
I want to hear what you're
knowledge.
going to say, because I'm ready to agree. I'm ready to
ready for this? About to drop some knowledge on your ass. Is they don't have an open mind, and the other 50%, I think it is split perfectly down the middle. Like fucking dropping my pin. Down the middle. Is they do not listen to the other person. there's a difference between hearing and listening.
See,
right? We call it active listening. And if you don't have an open mind, and if you're not willing to at least walk a day in their shoes, figuratively speaking, with the person that you're having a conversation or a debate with, if you want to call it, I'll just use a debate. I don't regard it as a debate, but I think it's a conversation. The point is, a lot of people identify with this action as a debate, so I'll use a debate. If you're having a debate with somebody and you're not at least willing to accept their side of the story, then you're not fit to have a debate, right? And the other part goes hand in hand with that, which is active listening. If you're really, truly open to hearing their side of the story, you need to actively listen. And what I mean by actively listening can be summed up real easy, is when you're listening to somebody, don't constantly think about your rebuttal, because you're not actually listening to them.
Yes, thank you. When you're thinking about what you're going to say when someone's... I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
If someone's talking to you and you're constantly thinking about what you're going to say in reply, you're not listening at all. Because in your head, you're just saying, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? So you're never actually taking in what that... And you know what the other problem is? I'm going to add on to that.
Yeah.
The other problem is we talked about it the other day, is that people cannot find common ground.
Right.
Like, nobody can... Not common ground. What am I looking for? Will give a little bit. Nobody will meet somebody halfway.
Nobody meets in the middle.
Exactly.
Right.
So today's society, it's either I'm 100% right, you're 100% wrong. Nobody will sit there and be like, I get what you're saying, and I can agree with that, and I think this. How about we meet in the middle?
Right.
Nobody can do that anymore because whether it's, I'm not going to discuss topics. Not going to go there.
Right.
Whatever it is people cannot agree in the middle. Whether it's because of their religious views, whether it's because of their political views,
their upbringing, what they had to deal with in life,
something they just don't like,
the card they got dealt.
It's okay to disagree with people. That is 100% fine.
That's healthy.
That's what makes everybody human.
Yes.
But when you disagree with somebody and then you want to fucking trash them and talk down to them because they don't think the same thing you do, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this world that I don't agree with. There's a lot of people you don't agree with.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go around calling them bigot or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to use. I use bigot because that's the nicest word I can think of right now. So, like, just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you have to fucking jump their ass.
Exactly.
Straight up.
And I think on the same line of that is, if anything, I actually seek out people that have different views than me.
Because that's how you learn. Knowledge is power.
I seek out somebody that has a different opinion than me, right? I want to talk to them about it. I want to learn why they have that opinion and what facts they base that off of. And even if it's not facts, what experiences, what life experiences, right? You know, me and this one guy on Facebook, we're great friends. We met at Auburn. We would go to the car meets together. But we have, like, polar opposite political views.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every second of talking with him about things because, now sure, there were times that we would both get emotional, but man, I can't remember a time that him and I were having a conversation or a comment war, as a lot of people say, right, on Facebook, where if one of us got emotional or heated, the other one would call us out and be like, hey man, like, you're getting emotional. And or we would recognize it ourselves and be like, oh shit, you know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to get heated like that. And, you know, he's actually the person that really opened my mind up to the beauty of active listening and looking at something from somebody else's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. He made a perfect analogy of, let's say you're, and I'm not going to get too political with this, but I think it's important to bring this out to
go ahead.
Is, let's say you're person A, whether that is race A, creed A, ethnicity A, whatever.
Whatever the case may be.
Whatever, right? You guys can connect in your head a lot of the issues that are going on with society, right? But it doesn't matter which side an individual is on. And then you've got person B. These people have had two very separate upbringings, right? Let's say person A has had an upbringing where, you know, they were lucky and they didn't really have to struggle in their upbringing. They didn't have to really worry about their safety in their upbringing. They really didn't have to stress about a whole lot of things.
Correct,
right?
correct. No, I get what you're saying.
And then you've got person B who, from the get-go, at the gate,
sucking.
Their parents are struggling to make ends meet to even put food and bread on the table.
Right.
And the parents are at jobs that are always closing. They can't hold a job of no fault of their own.
Right.
And the community that they live up in, as a result of this very difficult upbringing, is rough.
Yes.
Rough.
Yes.
And because people can't hold jobs, they go to ulterior, usually illegal motives, right? And that's the environment that this child grows up in. That's what they see. That is the world.
That is what they know. That's what they know.
And if they grow up, right, and let's say that their parent is trying to put food on the table and they're doing something illegal to do that, right? Well, okay, not that we're condoning these illegal things at all, but it's just the fact of the matter is that's what they did to survive. That's what they did to feed their kids. At the heart of the matter, they're trying to feed their children. They're trying to provide for their family, and they're trying to do anything that they can to get money.
Basically, I was going to say the only way they know how, but I don't know if that's accurate, because I have a whole different view on this. I understand what you're saying, because I am actively listening, and I'm not trying to get too deep in this, and I apologize if it is. Like, my thing is, I understand. I can understand, because I have 2 kids, so I can understand doing what it takes to feed your babies. I get that. But in saying that, you can take a left and go the illegal route to do what you have to do.
Oh, right.
Or you can take a right and figure it the fuck out and try. But in saying that, maybe doing some things where you make money quicker, whatever it may be, is the best, what you feel is personally best for your family.
Right.
So I'm not going to dish you on that.
Right.
I don't necessarily think I would go that route. I might. I've never been put in that situation.
Right, you've never been in a situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not fucking privileged. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, God knows
but
that's not the case.
It's, I can see where it's coming from.
Plywood. It's not marble. Jesus Christ.
No, I can understand. So, but back to your point. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. But I mean, that's basically my point, is that when he worded it that way, I was like, damn, it clicked, right? I was like, you're right. Even if you, as a person, don't agree with what the parents did, the child still saw what they saw. They still developed their views of the world.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
I'll let you. Perfect example. Certain upbringings. If you grew up in an abusive home, okay? You grew up, say your dad was rough, he was mean, whatever the case may be. As you grow up, that's what you know. So there's some people that grew up in that situation, and when they have kids of their own, they might struggle, not saying they are abusive by any means, but they might struggle with raising their children because of how they were raised, because that is what they know.
Right, they have no other
that doesn't mean they don't know it's
on.
wrong. That's the thing. They don't mean, oh, I was raised like this, so it's okay. No, that is wrong.
No.
I was raised like this. I know it was fucked up. So I'm going to do my best to raise my kids opposite of how I was raised. But in saying that, it's really hard for them not to react a certain way. So say your dad was super strict, you know, as a child, you're walking through Walmart, hands in pockets, stay right by the cart, don't say a word.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. You move, your dad knocks the shit out of you. Growing up, you're a kid, 6 years old, running around being a fucking kid.
Yeah, what kids do.
And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you kidding me? Why are you running around? Because in your head, that's not okay because that's how you were raised.
Right.
But you're not going to go there and fuck your kid up because you're like, oh, they're being 6. But
damn, I remember when my dad used to fuck me up because
exactly,
of that.
in that aspect,
kid, right?
Like, and not being.
And sometimes it goes the other way too. Sometimes
no, exactly.
Sometimes they're like, yeah, man, I was raised this way. By golly, damn it, you're gonna be raised that way.
Yeah, dude.
And the point is you have to at least be open to seeing where they're coming from, right? That's the bias.
That's the thing. You can't argue with somebody if you don't listen and that's the point. If you're gonna argue with somebody, know what the fuck they're saying. Don't keep trying to think of a rebuttal in your head because you cannot argue if you don't fully understand because then you're gonna sound like an idiot.
Right.
And
you're gonna look like a bully.
If you're gonna argue, know your facts, know what you're talking about. Because I hate getting into arguments with people that they'll just spit off either what they saw on Facebook, or people will post some shit on, I like to call it Fakebook. People will post some shit on Facebook and be like, oh, I can't believe this. This is fucked up. And it's like, did you actually read the article that you posted on? Because the picture and the caption of this article have nothing to do with what this fucking article is about at all. So you're saying this is fucked up, writing a fucking paragraph of your views and how you feel, and you look like an idiot because you didn't actually read what the fuck you posted. You saw the picture of somebody punching a baby in the face, saying, this person hates babies, and you read the article, and it's talking about how you should fucking adopt pets instead of buying them because it's better. Like, read what the fuck you post.
Right?
Exactly. And that, I think that's the problem with people today, is like, just like you were saying, going back to the full circle here, nobody's thorough in what they do.
Exactly.
Whether it's when they post, when they say your views. If you're going to argue with somebody, be thorough, know what you're talking about. I don't want to say argument. If I'm going to debate with you, even Keith here, if I'm going to debate with you, I'm not going to debate with you about something I don't know. Right. And if we are debating, arguing, talking, whatever it may be, if it is my opinion, I am going to tell you right off the gate, this is my opinion, not a fact. Because his opinion could be, the sky is fucking purple.
Yeah.
That's his opinion.
Or it's gray.
Right? Or gray.
What about colorblind?
That's his opinion. You know? Just because it's your opinion doesn't mean it's fucking right. If you think the sky is fucking neon purple, then guess what? The sky's fucking blue. Oh, that's my opinion. Doesn't matter. Your opinion's wrong.
Right.
Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's right.
Yes.
You're totally welcome to have an opinion. That's what's awesome about this country. Have an opinion. Good. But just because you have an opinion, don't think your opinion's fucking right. Because believe it or not, your opinion can be wrong.
It can be,
If you're going to talk to somebody about something heated, whether it's religion, politics, cars, tattoos, what beer you like, anything, do yourself a favor, do some research so you don't look like a fucking moron when you're arguing a point. Because there's nothing more aggravating to me personally, my opinion, is when you're arguing with somebody and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Right. And they just want to argue for argument's sake.
Or after multiple times being like, well, what do you base that on? What do you base it on? They just ignore it. And they don't
never answer the question.
They can't figure out what they base their opinion on.
Or when they say, well, I read this on Facebook. Okay, cool. Did you look it up? Where did it come from? Fact check. Fact check.
Thank you,
Thank
God. Okay, full circle. No, that's exactly, this is perfect.
We
are like
thorough.
on track.
Be thorough.
And fact check your shit. You know, I'm not saying that you can't trust anything that you see online.
Correct. Just check it out
but
first.
I'm saying you probably should check it out. Right?
If you're going to look at some shit about people clubbing baby seals and making boobs, make sure they're actually clubbing baby seals and making boobs.
Just look it up, right?
And it's not the
multiple sources.
Name of a hip hop song,
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and look it up from multiple sources. You know, there was this one picture that I saw that's gone around Facebook a ton. Kind of going back to the whole millennials versus baby boomers thing.
Okay.
And it was an economical post. It was talking about the economics of the late 60s versus the economics of the 2010s. Talking about how houses are so much more expensive, right? So much more expensive than back in the day. The medium income.
Just saying.
Thank you. Exactly. Right? So, but the person who made this graphic did it on purpose. And honestly, I think they realistically
when they make
a
misleading,
yes.
And
so when you actually go back and you do the inflation calculation from the prices of then versus now, and you actually go and look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics and look at the median income of that year versus the year that they're talking to in the graphic, with inflation calculated in, people today make more money, median income, than they did at that time. Bread is cheaper today than it was at that time with inflation calculated. And literally every single, the graphic had like 4 or 5 data points.
Yeah.
Literally every single data point was wrong. But people see it on Facebook, it supports their opinion, and they're like, bam! drop some knowledge on you, bitch.
Fucking driving 500 comments of some bullshit.
Right.
That is honestly is just the same thing, either reworded or repeated verbatim over and over and over.
Right.
And it's, people are fucking sheep, man. That's what it is.
Yeah,
It's,
so be thorough.
be thorough and don't be a fucking sheep. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Like,
do your
really.
own, like, think for yourself. Do your own research.
Oh man,
right?
I'm starting to get heated. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like,
Because, but
it's not hard, man. It's
That's
because people
right,
are
it's
fucking
not hard.
lazy.
Laziness.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
People read something, they believe it, and then, you know what's funny about it is because people will read it and then they will get proven wrong, but out of spite for that person, they will keep fucking running with it, knowing that they're wrong, just because it comes back to what we were saying. People can't admit, like, you can't admit when you're wrong, and people
Right.
are stubborn. That's what it is.
Right.
Is
Or they don't actually
They don't-
listen. And
they-
active reading is a thing too.
they won't fucking listen.
Right.
Because they're
You'll be
so
reading
hell-bent
stuff.
on being right that they could read it for themselves and be like, fuck, I was wrong. And then, but I'm not going to let this motherfucker win. I'm going to keep arguing my
Yeah.
point.
Right.
Like, and they always turn to, like, insults. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And active listening literally applies in the exact same way as active reading when you're talking about any kind of social media site. Right? If you're reading through a response, a comment, whatever you want to say, right? Don't be reading through the response and the comment being like, oh, word. All right, so sentence 1, part B, sentence 2.c, I can fuck this up. I'm going to rebut this, I'm going to rebut that, I'm going to rebut that. And you missed the point of the whole comment was basically them just saying like, hey, man, like, I grew up in a different.
Because you're not active listening.
Right, you're not actively
Exactly.
reading. You're not actively
Exactly.
learning. There's a good all-encompassing term.
Learning.
Active learning, right? Actively
Knowledge
paying
is
attention to
power.
somebody.
Fact.
Right?
Knowledge is power. Like, oh, yes. Yes,
That's
yes,
all it
yes.
basically is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So being thorough, right? And
Be thorough.
so
Know
this
what
is
the fuck
all
you're
a lot
talking
of like non-physical examples, right? About learning, being thorough, stuff like that. But being thorough
applies to everything.
needs to apply to everything, right? So like
Building a house,
myself, building
working
a
on a
house,
car.
like one of my anybody watching this video that knows me knows that my biggest passion in life is cars. Cody knows it, Cody's wife knows it, my wife knows it, all of my friends know it, my family knows it.
That's actually how I find your house, is I look for the BMW for it.
Yeah, right. It's
Like, really, no shit.
I'll pull it out of the garage, but yeah. No, so, but in being a car enthusiast, right, I split them up into 2 categories,
Okay.
right? And we'll get into my pet peeves, but I think there's realistically 2 categories of car enthusiasts. There are people that like cars. They like the idea of cars, maybe they like the way cars look, they like the notion of going fast in a car.
That's me.
But they don't necessarily have the technical background and knowledge of the inner workings of the car.
That's me. That's me.
Perfect. That's
you just
great.
described me.
Right?
Yes.
That's perfect and great.
Yes.
And I think everybody needs to admit that fact because there's no shame in it. But then there's the other part of, I guess, being a car enthusiast.
Where you know the ins
where you
and
know
outs.
the ins and the outs, and you can explain every little internal bit of an engine, whether it be through experience, whether it be through theory, right? Whether you learned it in school or whether you learned it through working on and rebuilding motors
Being thorough?
your whole life.
Is that
being thorough?
Yeah.
Holy shit, right? But
Fucking crazy how
my
that
pet
fits in.
peeve is when people, and this applies to any kind of interest in life, right? But it's my pet peeve when somebody's a car enthusiast, it's like, yeah, man, that car is super nice. Like, it's got a fucking quad turbocharged, fucking supercharged, side exhaust, fucking lift kit, fucking everything. Like, I don't know. It's literally hard for me to make up shit these people say because it's like trying to
Because it
twist
just doesn't
around
make
so
sense.
wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Because
But
what
anyway-
they do is they hear bits and pieces and spit it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
And
what
it's
you're
like,
saying.
man, like, if you would just like be like, yeah, man, I think that car's cool as shit. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know anything about cars, but I think it's cool. Man, you would have zero
That's me.
backlash. Zero.
That's me.
Let me
That's
give it
me.
to you. Let me tell you straight right here, okay? I said there's 2 types of car enthusiasts. There's also two types of people who are car enthusiasts themselves and they view people, right? It's either A, somebody who acknowledges and sees somebody that's a car enthusiast and they admit to the guy that maybe knows a lot about cars, hey man, I like cars, I don't know a lot about them. the enthusiast is gonna be like, cool, man. Like, yeah, check this one out, check that one out.
And
right?
they teach you. That is the thing.
They
I am
love
that
teaching.
fucking guy.
Ask
I
them
am that guy.
questions. Ask them.
I love cars. Like, I know a smidget, a wee bit, like a fucking cunt hair about cars. I dropped the C word. I had to at least one time in this video. But I don't know hardly anything about motors, honestly. But I love cars. And if somebody talks to me about cars, I'll tell you straight up, dude, I have no clue what you're talking about. But that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, so for you, the other day when
Right.
you explained how shit was working on the car, perfect example.
Yeah.
I had no clue what you were talking about at first.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't understand. Explain to me, which is being thorough because I want to learn.
Yep.
Like a fucking kid in a toy store. He's like, oh yeah, check this out.
Yep.
And broke it down Barney style. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person is stupid or whatever.
No.
If
Not
you
at all.
don't fucking know, how are you supposed to learn by keeping it a secret? By sitting there,
Yes.
nodding your head, oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
dude.
I
I
understand.
get that. I get that. By the end of that conversation, the entire time people are explaining shit to you, all you're thinking about is, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. And instead of upfront saying, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah,
Break
right.
it down.
Yeah.
And now I understand. So I don't know shit about cars. He does. So if I have any car questions, Keith, how the fuck does this work?
Yeah.
Tell me. And you'll tell me. And you're
Right.
happy to tell me.
Well, and that's the thing, yeah. It's like, now granted, there's always bigger fish. There's always people out there that know exponentially more than I do. About
Nobody
building
knows
cars,
everything.
right?
Nobody
You know,
fucking
everybody's
knows
had
everything.
more experience. Well, I don't want to say everybody, but there's always going to be one person,
Perfect.
at least one person
I got a
that's got more
perfect example.
experience.
Perfect example.
You know?
So it's not about cars, but the dude that did my sleeve, he's been tattooing for 20 plus years. And
That's beer number 2.
noise, I'm actually like, I drank a few beers before we came out here. But anyway.
Don't act like you were the only one that drank beers before we came.
No, we both drank beers.
Yeah.
Just saying. So anyway,
Hey, can I-
he's been tattooing for 20 plus years, right? And I was asking him, we were kind of talking about it, and he's like, dude, I'm always learning. Like this dude, renowned artist, well known, fucking Zach Cobalt, call him Lefty, fantastic.
Shout out.
Check out his Instagram.
If you're in the area, go check
Awesome,
him out.
awesome dude. He owns Infamous Ink in Waco, Texas. Fantastic artist, man, really. But
Oh yeah, and while we're on shout outs, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Selfish plug. Sam Adams Oktoberfest is what we're drinking here.
I don't like Sam Adams,
I mean-
but it's a good beer.
I mean,
I'll give it
it's
that.
not bad.
This one's
right?
okay.
This
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
this isn't a beer connoisseur channel. However,
It will be.
Go check
we
it out.
will discuss
right?
beer because Cody is a beer connoisseur.
Yeah, connoisseur.
No, that was the wrong word. Go ahead. What is it?
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
I don't fucking know.
Who fucking know? I got it from my wife. I'm not gonna take
I
credit
had
for that.
to.
My wife is a beer snob, and she has been working on me slowly to become a beer snob.
But anyway, Sam Adams, if you want to sponsor us, hey, you get some free marketing.
Oh yeah, dude. Sam Adams, y'all have great beer. Sponsor us.
We can edit the part out about you talking shit.
No, we'll edit that out. So, but anyway, no, Zach, we were talking about tattoos, and he said that he's constantly learning different techniques. Like from when he started tattooing years ago, he doesn't do the same way now. So the point being, anything you do, if you think you're the best at it, you're fucking wrong. Now there's a difference between thinking you're the best and being very confident.
Confidence is nothing about being. Oh God, what word escaping me? English. I've been taking too many foreign languages. My English skills
Not
are
me.
going down
I
the
know
tubes.
English, Texan, and drunk.
Competence is far different than arrogance. Bam! That's what I was looking for.
He's got it.
Yeah, confidence is way different than arrogance.
Being confident in something is, like, I'm a welder. I've been welding since I was 12 years old. I am nowhere near the best welder. I'm nowhere near the best welder ever, by any means. But I've been welding long enough. I am very, very, very confident in my skill. You've been working on cars. You're not by any means the best mechanic, but you are confident in what you do.
Right.
Anything that I do, not just welding, but anything I do, I am confident in doing. If I'm not confident and I still have to do it, I'm going to tell you, hey, not fucking sure about this. I'm gonna give it my best, the old college try.
Yeah.
And if I fuck it up, then cool, we'll work on that. That brings me to the whole point of take criticism in a good way. So
take
if somebody
criticism. Fuck.
Yes, if somebody tells you, no, you're solid, dude. If
that's
somebody,
my biggest pet peeve, especially in the fucking military.
Oh fuck! Don't.
Jesus.
That's a whole nother fucking
God,
episode, dude.
People don't know how to.
If somebody criticizes
I'm not really that heated, but I am.
If somebody criticizes you and they're not a fucking dickhead about it,
right? If they're actively trying to.
If somebody tells you like, "Hey, this is fucked up," and I'm gonna tell you why, and they're not an asshole about it, listen. You are not gonna get better if you don't take criticism lightly. Like, you have to fucking hear what people say, because I will do something. If I do something, then I think it's perfect. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then he looks at it, he's looking at it from a whole nother angle.
Yeah. And
he's like, hey man, this is fucked up. Or not even, we won't use the word fucked up. Hey,
you can use some improvement.
Could you have done this better? You could use some improvement. Instead of me getting pissed off, like, fuck you, dude. I've been welding since I was 12.
Right.
Whatever, or anything. I've been sewing, knitting, fucking,
paper mache, cooking,
anything,
right? Whatever. Riding a bike.
Listen, whether you agree with somebody or not, listen to what they have to say. Active listen to what they have to say. And if you don't give a shit about what they have to say and they're wrong, keep it to yourself. That's fine.
Yes.
But listen, just listening, because you don't fucking know. And that's what's wrong with people today, is everybody has to be right. And even when they're wrong, they will still argue the fucking point just to be right.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You're not going to get smarter if you see one way. If you're just looking down a one-way road and that's all you fucking see, you're not going to get anywhere in life at all.
No.
Nowhere.
You're not.
Period.
And yeah, that's, we're getting close to the time here. We want to keep this at about an hour or so.
But hey, it's been an hour. It
hasn't been an hour. It hasn't felt like an hour.
So,
but
we're going to do another episode. We'll come up with an awesome topic.
Yeah.
If there's anything you want us to talk about, fucking throw a comment down.
Yeah, throw a
comment
comment
down. I'd like
down.
to hear about this, that,
I mean, I'm not going to be like every one of those other fucking YouTube people that be like, oh man, yeah.
Until we get rich. Once we get rich and we have people that read our comments for us, if
that happens. Like when we hire comment readers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not going to be that person that's like, I don't subscribe or whatever. But I mean, if you want to stay tuned, stay tuned. If you're like, these guys are fucking retarded, be like, alright, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Move on. Whatever. I don't give a shit. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Say
That's the thing, right? Because
exactly.
There's a difference between writing a comment down and trying to be nasty. And if people want to be nasty,
trolling. Yeah. Look,
you think we got thin skin? You got another thing coming.
This is the only thing I'm going to say about my political views, is that this is the land of the free, right?
Home of the fucking brave.
Home of the fucking brave. You have a right to your fucking opinion, whether I agree with it or not.
Yeah.
Period. So say what you're gonna say. Throw your opinion out there. I honestly give 2 fucks. And if you're gonna be a dickhead, you have that right to be a dickhead. That's cool. Be a fucking dickhead. But I do appreciate everybody watching, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
You see it?
See what?
The fucks I give.
There are no fucks.
There's nowhere to be found.
There are no fucks. Boom. No fucks. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
this has been Bald and Bearded.
Bald and Bearded, episode 1.
Stay safe.
Comment.
Stay classy.
Next episode,
stay
we're answering questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. Give us something to talk about, man. Like, we think
about ideas, let us know.
Yeah, we think about different shit to talk about. Try not to throw some political shit out there, because people get bitchy, dude.
Yeah, we're going to try and stay away from politics, religion.
Maybe we can talk about beers.
I think there's like one other thing.
Politics, religion, and...
God, man, what was the other thing we said we weren't going to try and talk about? It'll come to us the next episode.
Yes.
Not important.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Politics and religion, man, those are the two big ones.
Two big ones.
Because people are pussies and they can't handle what we have to say.
Yeah.
Is what I feel like.
Yeah. And a lot of them are based on opinions, and it's hard to talk about opinions with facts and have a good conversation. Because people don't actively listen, they're not thorough.
Boom.
Fuck!
Point proven. improving.
Alright, Bald and Bearded, episode 1. Catch you guys later.
Catch you later.
Out.